Yeah. So with that, welcome back to Paradyme Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're grateful that you're here. Today, we're going to be continuing our discussion of Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche. His chapter titled "What is Noble?" Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. We're going to talk about aphorisms 275 through 278. So before we jump into the content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little notification bell so you are updated every time we put a video up. And drop a comment down below. What's your favorite aphorism so far? Are you reading along with us? We'd love to engage with you down in the comment section below. So, all right, let's hop into 275. Who wants to read this one?
Okay. 275. He who does not wish to see the height of a man looks all the more sharply at what is low in him and in the foreground, and thereby betrays himself. Far.
Yeah.
I think we would just start with the that first statement, not wish to see the height. I think that is I don't know, the way he encapsulates messaging in such small amount of space is very
okay.
Beautiful.
Let's pause before he goes and thereby betrays himself. Just everything up until that. Okay, it reminds me of in the Bible. It says something like, "Don't judge the splinter in someone else's eye when you have a plank in your own," or some shit like that. Right?
Yeah.
It's something like that. Okay, and this very much mimics that same kind of thing. He's saying well, it kind of mimics a little bit where he's like, if you don't want to measure someone's height, like what their value is, maybe whatever you want to put into it, all you got to do is just remember all the things that suck about you, and you'll be reminded that you're not even that great,
It makes me think of I think we all know somebody when we're like, man, did you see this person did this awesome thing? And then that person you were just talking to goes, yeah, did you hear what happened with him and his wife? Or did you hear about this thing that they did? Rather than looking at the greatness of the person, they go immediately for cutting them down.
I was saying kind of the opposite, as in just know that everybody, even a great person, has maybe similar struggles, just like how you look at yourself like that, so I think sometimes, whether it's artificially for the positive or the negative, some people put some let's say celebrities on a pedestal,
Yeah,
it's all you gotta do is look inside yourself, they're literally doing the same thing,
Yeah.
And if someone's and you could think someone's less than you, and then all you gotta do is look at yourself, you're like, come on, I'm not that much. I'm not that much better.
What do you think he means by the height of man?
I mean, I think how you value them, whatever that means, their social hierarchy, their ability, their social hierarchy, their strength, their financial resources, their ability to, let's say,
prestige,
and all the things that come with prestige.
I think an importance that I drew attention to was how he worded he who does not wish to see. He didn't say people are subjugating themselves to see stuff. He's saying, if you're choosing to look, if you want to look, and you're choosing not to wish people great wishes, then you could be casting them in a negative light because you're looking sharply at their negatives rather than looking at how great they actually are. If you choose to look at those things and be opinionated about it, you can choose not to look. You could choose not to look really either, right?
I like that.
You can completely ignore it. So that's I think that first sentence is a very important piece, and why he chose to say who does not wish to look, or does not wish to see the height of man. It's because you're making a choice to see it, and to look, to pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's in a short one sentence to describe this. AI said, to refuse to see greatness is to reveal one's own smallness.
True.
So like, yeah, I mean, we've all met people in our lives that like, I've talked about JBP with people, and I like Jordan Peterson a lot. And I wish him well. I hope he's doing okay with everything that's going on. But I'll bring up like good points that I think he brought up in his book. Maybe people don't like his character or whatever, but you were bringing up JBP and then to somebody, and they were like, "Yeah, did you know like he was addicted to benzodiazepines?" Rather than like engaging in the conversation, it was like, let's degrade and belittle somebody based on their struggles rather than looking at their greatness. And what Nietzsche's saying here is like that person, rather than seeing greatness, is revealing their own smallness. They feel inferior because of when looking at the height of a man.
Yeah,
and that I just thought that was a really interesting idea.
Yeah, I think we have like probably an hour-long conversation just on this topic alone.
I think that was good. Let's send the next one.
Yeah. All right. Who wants 276?
I got it. In all kinds of injury and loss and lower and coarser soul is better off than the nobler soul. The dangers of the latter must be greater. The probability that it will come to grief and perish is in fact immense, considering the multiplicity of the conditions of its existence. In a lizard, a finger grows again, which has been lost. Not so in man.
Okay. So, I mean, the lizard thing and then the finger regrowing and man doesn't. I mean, that's a metaphor for like the damage we take and the things we lose, we don't necessarily get it back. And a lower and coarser soul has already known what it's like to have not a lot or having things taken from him, possibly. It's like the vibe I'm getting. And like someone with a more noble soul, it's like the whole idea of like a child that's never known war. Like, how can he know like the atrocities of it? Because like he grew up in like peace. And like if he would suffer damage and loss, it would be like traumatic and like would be like a very big thing, right? And like he may never recover from that PTSD. But a child who grows up in like a war-torn country, like it like if more things happen, it's not as big as it is for the other kid because like this is all he's known his whole life.
I almost wonder if Nietzsche is he's setting the context of like coarser, like granulated pieces of a soul versus like a nobler soul, meaning it's still all put together, like the innocence of like something that's still put together versus something that's all like granulated and coursed out because of time and wear and tear and the damages of life kind of wore you thin. And it could just be war, just like the examples John's given, but I'm wondering why he used like the word nobler.
Well, like the word noble means having high moral principles, possessing high rank or birth, or being impressive in appearance.
Yeah, and like earlier he talks about like how nobility only comes from like pretty much place of birth type shit.
So like what I'm getting here is like it almost reminds me of Crime and Punishment. Raskolnikov's idea was there's extraordinary people and there's ordinary people, right? And to put that in Nietzsche's framework, extraordinary people are noble people, noble souls, and ordinary people are the what does he say? He says lower and coarser souls. So we have this reflection of the same idea, and what he's saying here is the dangers of the nobler soul are greater. And the probability that it will come to grief and perish is in fact immense. So, the large idea being that the lower, simpler souls survive injury more easily than the noble ones, because being noble comes with complexity, and complexity is fragile. So, like a lizard, if it loses something, it can grow it right back. It's not that hard for a lizard, right? But if you cut the wing off of a bird, it's not going to grow it back.
Not me, Bill Dury.
Complex.
No, I'm kidding. It wouldn't grow back.
So the nobler the soul, the more breakable it is. So I asked for some examples from AI, and it gave me a scenario. So I'll walk us through it, and feel free to interject at any point. But the scenario is there are two magicians that experience the same. There are two musicians that experience the same loss. Their life's work, a decade worth of compositions, is accidentally deleted and unrecoverable. So the nobler soul, this is the individual with refined sensibilities, deep creative vision, and a complex inner life. Someone whose identity is inseparable from their art. The effect of the loss is that the compositions represented more than just songs. They were tied to their highest aspirations, their philosophical ideals, and their emotional depths. And losing the work feels like losing a part of their soul, something irrevocable. Their grief is profound because the loss strikes at the structure of who they are. So Nietzsche's point is that the nobler soul has more ways to perish. Their intricacies become vulnerability. And so the lower and coarser soul, this musician is less inwardly complex. The music is enjoyable, but it's not sacred. And their creative life isn't tied to deep meaning or identity. And the effects of the loss is that they're irritated, maybe angry, but can recover quickly. They tell themselves, whatever, I can just make more. The work didn't carry existential weight. It was more of a hobby or a practical output. And because go ahead.
Sorry. No, go finish. Just finish the whole thing.
Because they lacked deep inner stake, the injury barely touches them. So Nietzsche's point is that the coarser soul is robust because it has little to lose. Break something simple and it's easy to replace.
I don't know that's like the best example because one, it's like just from that analysis, from my perspective, the coarser soul sounds like the more pure soul. Like he didn't let that get him down. I can just make more. Like he's got the ability to just make more, the other one sounds like the more I know he's saying like the pure soul is more brittle, but like it sounds like more like he's like a naive baby a little bit, and then on the other sides, I feel like just because I feel like in this scenario, chat's using musicians and like there's no context of like he's saying the pure soul musician almost like honors his music like it's like his religion or like his higher purpose. It's like, well, maybe the other musician, his higher purpose, like serving the Lord and like everything he does in his life is in like service of those things. So like even if you lose music, it's like it's okay, like not even a big deal. I could literally like the Lord let me make all that and I get to make more later. Like it's not even so like I don't know. I kind of get what he's saying, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. That makes sense. The ability to adapt is noble.
Doesn't
say?
Yeah. I feel like the ability to like take loss and not let it drown you because of your attachment to it would be, in my opinion, a more noble virtue than letting anything break you, because then your virtues weren't that noble to begin with if like they can be broken.
Yeah, it gave me a couple different scenarios, but that one was one of the ones that the more.
I mean, he makes the point that like Christians are like that religion is like the religion of like the normies and stuff like that, and lower and like lower whatever. So yeah, I mean that what I'm saying kind of aligns with what he's saying, but I have like a inflection of like the inverse of like what he's thinking now. Like I think it's more pure.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything to add, David and Devin?
No.
All right. David, you want T77?
Sure. This was low-key one of the ones that stuck out to me.
All right.
Yeah. It is too bad. Always the old story. When a man is finished building his house, he finds that he has learnt unawares something which he ought absolutely to have known before he began to build. The eternal, fatal, too late. The melancholia of everything completed.
That just to me sounds like a normal day in life, you know?
Yeah.
You plan a camping trip, you get over there, you get set up, you go, I wish I would have brought this.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what he's saying. And like he uses a house because like it's like you design the house. You think of everything, like this is the kitchen, the closet, and then you barely go, I forgot about this. You know?
Right.
Because like now you're in there and you're living it. And you go, I wish this was like this, or I wish this was like this. And it's like always like no matter how much you plan, like once you get there, like there's always reflection, and then you being like, could have done that.
Yeah. I mean, the big overarching idea is that we always learn the lesson, the most essential lesson, only after the moment when it would have mattered most.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we've all had like let's say discussions that are conflict, right? And then after the conflict is done, like, you know, you're on a walk or whatever, you're like, you know, walking the dog or fucking at the gym or something, you're like, I could have said this, you know? So it's like we all have that, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I think that's why if you were to expand life cycle, I think this is why wisdom is so like valuable, like towards the end of your life, like you're so much more wiser because you had to do this like on repeat your whole life, where like something happened, like, damn, I wish I would have said this, or damn, I wish I would have done this. And it could be years, it could be a month, or it could be an hour of like that time passing. But I think the larger lessons turns into like deeper or more insightful wisdom as you get older, because there's a lot more time that passes from like when you're 16 to when you're like 25. Like you're like, damn, if I would have just like made this tweak when I was that age, I probably would have like, you know what I mean? Some people see it as like, oh, you have some regrets, you should never have regrets. But it's also just reflection. It's also just to look back and be like, you're more wiser. So you think about who you were in the past.
Yeah.
To sum it up,
Any individual. Go ahead, John.
The summing up, it would be hindsight's always 20/20.
Exactly. Do you guys have any moments like that you could think of like, off top of your head that, you know, lessons you learned that came to you after it was done?
I feel like, and I think this is just growing pains with anything, but when you have like your first relationship and like you don't quite know, you're still trying to find out how to communicate with women. Yeah. And like I think the common one is like they come to you with problems, you prescribe, because like that's what when guys come to you, it means that they've exhausted all options and they want a solution. When girls do that, they actually just want to be heard. And like when I read a book later, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus, he breaks that down and he's like, you should ask them, do you want my 2 cents or do you just want to be heard? Like just that right there has helped me so much in my life with like dealing with like all women in my life. And like that right there's like, yeah. Like you wouldn't have that problem until like it becomes a problem, you know?
Yeah, that's such a good one. Yeah. In my first relationship, my conflict styles were typically to avoid or accommodate. And, you know, post the relationship being over, I was like, what the fuck was I doing? You know, like you want, you know, the idea of happy wife, happy life. That's what it is. You just accommodate. That's to what behavior. Yeah. You basically accommodate that the other person wants something or they want life to be going a certain way and you accommodate it. And so happy wife, happy life. But that ended up like creating a life that I wasn't happy with. Post the relationship and being like processing the whole thing, being like, okay, my conflict style was wrong and I can't allow that going forward. And like I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to use those learned lessons in the next relationship. And that's what all we can really hope for, is to be able to use the knowledge that we gained.
Yeah. It's happy us or bust. Yeah,
exactly.
There's no bust. So sure. Yeah, there been busts going on, or it's definitely not happy us. I'll tell you
that. Hell yeah!
All right, it's just the truth.
Any other ones before we move on?
No, let's send the next one.
No.
All right, I'll read aphorism 278. Wanderer, who art thou? I see thee follow thy path without scorn, without love, with unfathomable eyes. wet and sad as a plummet which has returned to the light and satiated out of every depth. What did it seek down there? With a bosom that never sighs, with lips that conceal their loathing, with a hand which only slowly grasps. Who art thou? What hast thou done? Rest thee here. This place has hospitality for everyone. Refresh thyself. And whoever thou art, what is it that now pleases thee? What will serve to refresh thee? Only name it. Whatever I have, I offer thee. To refresh me? To refresh me? O thou prying one, what sayest thou? But give me, I pray thee, what? What? Speak out. Another one. Excuse me. Another mask. A second mask.
Okay. Well, to sum it up in like a short sentence, I would say like misery loves company.
Misery loves company. Why?
How it starts, like, wanderer, who art thou? You know, a place with scorn, without love, with unfathomable eyes, wet and sad as a plummet which has returned. Okay. And satiated out of every depth. So that makes me think of like lower places and stuff. And then it talks about how a hand slowly grasps you. And like it talks about like with a bosom that never sighs and lips that conceal their loathing. It kind of gives me like a little bit of like a seduction, like imagery in my head.
Yep.
And like you see all the time, like especially in California, like these like young people, they like run away from home, they start doing drugs in the street, and all of a sudden they're like a homeless zombie, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they were like lost and sad and like whatever. And then like misery like found them. They go, hey, it's actually pretty awesome over here when you do a little fent. You know, like that's like that that was like that bosom that never sighs, that like slow grasp hand. And then like now they're part of the company, you know? And like the talk about like refresh me. It's like they're always like chasing a high somehow and like together in like this like downward spiral type of deal, you know? That's the imagery I get when I read this.
Yeah.
Another one, second mask.
Yeah. How about the another mask, a second mask? What do you think he meant by that?
That one kind of scared me a little bit, and the fact that like, sorry, I've been talking a lot. Does someone else want to
go? I don't know.
Sure.
I leave my like assumption to like just guessing, not really like having a clear understanding.
Go say what you're gonna say, John.
Okay. Well, when I read that last part, it was detached from everything else. Okay, because he's got the line. Okay, and what it makes me think about is like loving someone, because like the whole part leading up to that is like this like whole kind of seduction, this grasp. Okay, and then like it's like either for yourself or for the other person. It's like because you're always wearing a mask. Okay, and then like you're supposed to like I guess show your true self around like your partner or whatever, and it's like it's still a second mask. That's what I got from reading that. It's detached from everything else, kind of. But those were my initial like imagery in my head.
Okay. Yeah, so he's like this wanderer strolls in and the person welcomes them there and tells them to rest. You know, that person, you know, has hospitality for everyone. Refresh yourself. What pleases you? What would refresh you? Name it and I'll offer it to you. What would refresh you? So the the too long didn't read I got was, so Nietzsche's describing a wanderer who has descended into existential depths and returned sorrowful. When he's offered rest, he only asks for another mask, symbolizing the need of profound souls to hide themselves from others.
Yo, I'm telling you, the fan, the misery loves company. You know, it's like what are they doing? They're escaping the reality, and they have like a brief moment of like ecstasy. You know, like that's the imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when they are like, given the idea of what would refresh you, they just go and grab another mask.
Fant, I want more. I want to be like. But I'm telling you, like, you ever see that there's like docs, like the documentaries are like Portland or whatever, or like it's like they go down. It's like, how old are you? The girl's like, I'm 19. It's like, where are you from? She's like, Montana. You know,
Yeah.
and like she's been living here for 6 months. She's, I love it. Like this is my tent, and like all they do is just like do drugs. You know,
Yeah.
and like the mask. It's like everything's fine, dude, as long as I got this fan.
Yeah. Side
That's
note,
just like, sorry, that's just like
side note. One of the workers out in on a job I'm working on got deployed to Portland.
Deployed is like
Deployed. He's in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, literally got deployed to Portland because it's that crazy over there right now.
He's literally playing like zombies on Call of Duty. They're just like, it's just like fan people. It's like, this is Wave 7 guys. Like I'm running out of ammo.
What's his relation to you?
I need the mystery box.
He's a worker on a job that I'm doing. He's in the National Guard and also works as an engineer.
Whoa. Okay.
And got got deployed off of the job that we're working on and got deployed to Portland.
He's building trenchers to keep them up here.
Hey. They're like, right, we need you to go fight like, a war. Oh, the war is actually like inside our own country.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy.
All right.
Well, that wraps up our discussion for aphorisms 275 through 278. Thank you again for tuning in this week. We're so grateful that you are here watching these videos. So before you take off, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time we put up a new video. Drop a comment down below and follow us on all our social media platforms. All you need will be down in the description box below. We, again, appreciate you being here. And remember, who you are now equals who you'll be tomorrow. Peace.
Hey, let me ask you a question. The whole Mark Twain thing and the Mormon thing, was that prior to recording?